Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Petey.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Batch of new girls gave us today. Wow, I am impressed. Good job, ladies, good job. I do have to say, I think they've really been enjoying their new nest boxes. I have to say, the old batch of layers, they are starting to slow down, but we still got a decent amount of eggs this morning. Good job, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Now, I really want to know what happened to this thing because Dad didn't let me know about it when I came down to feed. Hey, what are you doing? Are you kicking up the dust?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I'm checking out the corn.
What did you say? Yes, they do. That's what they were designed to do. All filled? You want another one? There you go. Fill that one up. Just take the eggs from here for now, okay?
What are these ones?
Those are called smalls. They're a little too small to put them in the containers. So what we do is use them ourselves. When Daddy makes like scrambled eggs and stuff, that's what he uses.
How did that come there?
How did they come there? Well, they're a little too small. So they just keep going down the egg grater. And then there's a set of counterbalance or weights on the back side. And what that does is when the egg reaches a certain point, if it's heavy enough, it just drops off. Good job.
Look at that.
Right there, lean forward a little bit and then straight down. Perfect. I lost my helper, but at this point in life, riding on the forklift is a lot more exciting than grading eggs. Can you believe that? I can't. Look at all these eggs we gotta grade. It's a lot of eggs. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us today. We're just working on morning chores. We've got the animals all taken care of. We had plenty of eggs to grade, and now I'm moving over to the greenhouses to get some of these hanging baskets watered. Where are you? There you are. We have got quite a big job scheduled for today, and once we get all our morning chores taken care of, we can move on to that job. We got the hanging baskets all watered in the greenhouses, so morning chores are taken care of. Now we just need to find Dad. He's making some additions to the water wheel transplanter. We're gonna go help him out. Well, I just made it to Dad as he was finishing up, but I'll show you the addition that he had made. It is a second wheel onto our water wheel transplanter. Now, for those of you that have seen us use this piece of equipment before, you know that's an exciting addition because it means we're moving on to one of the most important crops we have here on the farm, peppers. We're having a little trouble with our T5-120 and they had just came to pick it up. So I got down here a little late. I was helping them out with that. But Dad got down here before me and he started loading up some peppers. Right now on the planter, we have a whole mess of hot cherry peppers. And we've also got some odds and ends. So we've got a few different types of parsley. We've got some dill on here. And we've also got some lettuce. The goal for today is gonna be getting as many peppers as possible planted. We've got plenty of mulch laid. We've got a large water tank filled up. So we're just about ready to get started. We are missing one key component though. And the key component that we need, it actually isn't even ours. It's my cousin Joel's. I gotta go down and grab it. This is what I need right here. Oh, it's full of gas, it's heavy. Check out this barn. Look at this guy over here. Can you believe he built this thing? Wow, you know what it needs? Hay.
It does need
lots
hay.
and lots of hay.
It does.
Thank you, Joel. See you later. Isn't family the best? You can just show up, borrow their generator, leave. Wonderful. And right here, everyone, is why we had to run down and grab that generator. We've got a giant tank of water on the back of our wagon, and we've got a submersible pump. Now, because we put a second wheel onto the water wheel transplanter, we're gonna be using twice the water, and we're gonna be using twice the plants. It would become quite a big headache to constantly have to go back and forth from the field to the farm. So what we've got is our wagon with our large tank of water on it. We've got our submersible pump, and we're gonna get this wagon full of some plants. And by doing that, we're gonna be making less trips, which means more plants in the field. What do we got there?
Jalapenos. They're long hots.
They're long hots? Yep. Ooh, those are some beautiful jalapenos. A long hot. Now, if you recall, on the planter, we've got some hot cherry peppers. We have the rest of the hot cherry peppers now on the wagon. We've also got some habaneros and ghost chilies. We got some long hot peppers put onto the wagon and some jalapenos. We've got a decent amount of hot peppers here on the wagon. All we have to do is get the equipment down to the field and we can get started. Hey Daniel, long time no see.
It's like I saw you last video.
Oh my goodness, it's like we were here, I don't know, all day yesterday. Probably the biggest difference for Daniel and I on the back here is we're gonna be going a lot slower because we don't have any help. We can't help each other. And the first thing that we're gonna be transplanting to start off the day is some dill. We just finished off our dill. Now we're gonna be moving on to some flat leaf parsley. Flat leaf parsley is gonna be a little more difficult to transplant here just because we have the plants in these packs. Now originally these plants are for sales, but we can use them if we need to transplant them. We always do a few extra in sales just in case if we were to need some more. And that's what we've got here today. Just some packs, but once we get them all pulled out, we can get everything cleaned up, moved on to the next thing. It's not gonna last forever. I hate transplanting out of these packs, but sometimes you gotta do it. We got the last of our flat leaf parsley put into the soil. Now we've got some curly parsley here. Just moved a few of the trays around to make it easier on ourselves. Now Daniel and I are transplanting some lettuce. This was some leftover lettuce that we had from the garden, and we felt rather than get rid of it or just waste it, put it out here in the field. Now once we finish off this lettuce, we're gonna be done with this row because a bulk of what we have in here is herbs, and we're gonna finish off this row with herbs. So this is the herb section of the field, and once we finish off with this lettuce, we're gonna move over to the pepper section. We stopped perfectly and we're able to get the last two holes filled up. So in this row we have parsley, lettuce, and more parsley. We're now finished off with this row of mulch. We were able to get dill, parsley, curly parsley, and also some lettuce put into this section of the field. And now it's time to just get started with transplanting peppers. They are planting really nice. That was a tomato. I just planted a tomato. Many of you have probably seen us do a lot of transplanting in past videos. The last video that we had just posted, we did a lot of transplanting. We ended up getting all of our first planting of cucurbits transplanted. So we got our pickling cucumbers, regular cucumbers, some zucchini, yellow zucchini, and yellow squash. Today, the main focus is gonna be on peppers. Now, when it comes to transplanting, there's a few things that we look for, but one of the most important things is making sure that we get our plant pushed down far enough into the soil. The water that is being added by means of the planter, it creates kind of like a slurry in each one of these holes, and by pushing the plant deep into that slurry, it makes sure that the roots have plenty of opportunity to dive down deep into the soil. Now, many of you are curious as to what we're actually pushing on when we push the plant down into the soil. You'll see here the root ball. Right at the base where the plant meets the root ball, that's where we like to put our fingers and push it into the soil. That makes sure that we get all of the root ball down into the soil. And another thing, by pushing here at the base, we don't break the plant that way. So that's a few of the things we look for as we're transplanting, and that's what I'm gonna be looking for with every single plant that I push down into the soil. We just got our first row of peppers put into the soil. It went really, really well. I'm not 100% sure how many trays we use. Looks like we use 6 or 7 trays. Those look like good numbers to us. We're gonna make our way back out through the field. We just got another row of peppers all taken care of, but we're at the point where we need to get some water and put some more plants onto the planter, so we're heading back to the wagon. What do you think, Daniel? Going pretty smooth so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, plants are nice. It's a lot easier to transplant when your plants look like this. Beautiful. The peppers look really, really good on the mulch. Now we're only filling up with a little bit of water, and the reason for that is because it's almost lunchtime. So we're gonna get planted what we have here on the planter, and then we're gonna head back and get something to eat. We have the rest of our hot cherry peppers, and then we've also got some ghost chilies and habaneros. I just moved on to my last flat of hot cherry peppers, and Daniel is doing the same. So this is gonna be our entire first planting of hot cherry peppers in the soil. Look, I found another one, a tomato. Planted a tomato.
Third tomato.
That's the third tomato I found. Who seeded these things? I think it was Pop Pop. Can you believe Pop Pop was putting tomato seeds in with the pepper seeds? What a wild man. Daniel and I were just splitting up the last of his hot cherry peppers. Now we're on to red habaneros. Another row of peppers has been finished off. That's basically 3 rows of hot cherry peppers and just a little bit of red habanero on the end. But we're gonna get our next row started with red habaneros and then finish off with the ghost. These habaneros that we're putting into the soil, you can see some of these plants are pretty large, but they're not as large as the hot cherry that we were just transplanting. Now the funny thing is, we started these about a month earlier than we did the hot cherry peppers. The interesting thing about ghost chilies and habaneros is they take a long time to grow. Once we get them out here in the field, they're still gonna need a decent amount of time until we start getting peppers off of them. But that's why we start them so early in the germination greenhouse, just so that we can plant them at the same time as all the other peppers. We've made mistakes in the past where we haven't been able to get a really nice harvest, but now we start transplanting much sooner and it works out in the end. We just got our habaneros all planted, and Daniel, I'm gonna need some of those ghost chilies. Yeah, these things are spicy. Thank goodness the plants aren't spicy, or my hands would be burning.
I'm spicy.
Not like ghost chili spicy though.
No,
You're like red habanero spicy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right, what kind of spice am I? I'd say
wax?
no, what? I would say I'm a jalapeno. Jalapeno or maybe like a long hot. What do you think of that? No, you're right.
You were
Probably like a
sweet
poblano.
banana. You're a sweet banana.
Oh, look at me. Oh yeah, well you're a bell pepper. You got no spice. Hold up 1 second. I got no, oh, thank you, never mind. You can keep going. Daniel gave me some ghost. Daniel, thank you for sharing.
Sharing is caring.
Especially when it's spicy peppers. Ghost peppers are all in the soil, red habaneros are in the soil, and the hot cherry peppers are in the soil. We're gonna be taking this planter back to the farm. We're gonna get it filled up with water there while we eat lunch. And once we're finished up with lunch, we'll be right out here transplanting again. I forgot to record it, but we just got done with lunch. We had chicken patties and some salad for lunch. Oh, it was really good. But now it's time to get back out to the fields. We still had some hot wax peppers and some poblano peppers back at the farm. So before we left, we had put them onto our planter. We also got our planter filled up with water. To make sure that we've got our rows as filled out as possible, we're gonna be picking up right where we left off with the ghost chilies. And the first thing that we're gonna be starting the afternoon off with is hot wax peppers. Another row of peppers all finished off. We only have a few more plants left of the hot wax, and then we're gonna be moving on to poblano. Since we made it to the end of the row, we feel like this is a great opportunity to get filled up with plants. We have 4 more trays of poblano on the planter, but just to make sure that we have to make fewer stops, we're gonna get the rest of the planter filled up with some jalapeno peppers, and then after these peppers, we're gonna move on to long hots. Now there's an interesting thing we do so that we can help each other out. When we're putting our trays on, we make sure that our tags face the other planter so we can always make sure that we're working on the same thing. We got poblano here, so Daniel and I both know that we're working on the same tray. Doing little things like that makes this job a lot more enjoyable. Little update for everyone. We've finished off the poblano peppers and now we're on the jalapenos. We've been moving through them pretty quick. Daniel and I haven't had any trouble. It's nice when the peppers are this nice. So much easier to plant. When they look this good, this job's so enjoyable. Daniel just said something crazy. When we start picking these peppers, Daniel, what are we gonna be really close to?
I'm gonna be a dad.
Time is flying. I can't believe that, but Daniel is correct about the time we're harvesting peppers. Probably won't be right when we start picking, but once we start picking a decent amount, then Daniel will have his own little baby here. How exciting. We are making a lot of progress. I'm happy with the way things have been going. We've just about run out of plants on the planter and we're out of water, so we've got to get refilled on both.
That's a half a tray. That's a half a tray. He has...
We've got water, we've got plants, back into the field. We're just moving some plants around. We got all the jalapenos planted, and now we've got some long hots going into the soil. It can be a lot to keep track of, but that's why Daniel and I have to work together back here. Otherwise, you'd have peppers all over the field, which I guess that's kind of the plan, right? Get peppers all over the field. But we like a little bit of order. If we can keep the jalapenos with the jalapenos, if we can keep the long hots with the long hots, just makes it a lot easier when harvest time gets here. We got the last of the peppers we had brought with us on the planter. It's really nice to see the strips of green throughout the field. We've been making some amazing progress. These are the last of the hot peppers that we've got to plant in our first planting of peppers. It's just amazing how fast things have been going. Another load of plants has been put into the soil. We've been making so much progress. It's amazing to me. It feels like earlier than ever that we've been able to get this type of job done. The weather had been warm earlier on this month, but then it cooled off pretty crazily. But now it's starting to warm up again, so it's time to get stuff planted. We probably could have got the stuff planted sooner, but with those cold temperatures that we had received, this stuff would have almost gone dormant. So I'm glad we waited, and now we're gonna be able to watch everything grow. It's just a wonderful time of the year. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trays of long hots, and then that's gonna be the entire first planting of hot peppers in the ground. You getting excited?
No, I'll be excited when we get to pick them.
And eat them.
No, I don't eat hot peppers.
Oh, Daniel doesn't handle hot peppers well.
I don't handle hot
But he likes jalapeno stuffed with, what, cream cheese and bacon?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it. That's all the hot peppers planted. Good job. Woohoo!
For now.
Well, yeah, this is the first planting. We've got more plantings coming later. What are we getting first?
Sweet cherry, lunchbox, and sweet banana.
Those are Italian sweet, orange bell. These are purple bell.
Sweet banana.
Purple bell.
I see sweet banana.
I don't know what that is in there. That's the only problem with having all these peppers here.
Sweet cherry.
We're gonna search through everything. Let's see here. Sweet banana. This is all the sweet banana peppers. Sadly, we're not gonna be able to get all this stuff transplanted today because we are gonna run out of time. But look at all this space we've opened up here in the greenhouse. Now for the first planting of peppers, a bulk of that is gonna be sweet peppers. Now the only thing is, a lot of our bell peppers for our first planting, we got those seeded a little later on. So they still are a little on the small side. They need to grow yet. But this is our first planting of bell peppers. And then over here would be our second planting of bell peppers. So there is quite a difference in size, but we still have to wait a little bit longer. All filled up and ready to go. Just made it back out to the fields. We brought something special with us. Don't know if we're gonna get them all planted, but these are lunchbox peppers. So they're like tiny bell peppers, really, really sweet. Call them lunchbox peppers because, you know, they like fit really good inside a lunchbox. I like them. They're really good. Look at that. We're getting a beautiful view of the wheat here. Check that out. Wow, so nice.
No. Because when we speed up, it'll be... These are some sweet cherry peppers we're planting.
We got finished off with the lunchbox peppers, and now we've got our sweet cherry peppers going in the soil. The sweet cherry peppers are now done, and we're on to our sweet banana. Now we're moving through the sweet banana pretty quick, so after we finish off the sweet banana, we're gonna be on our Cubanelle peppers, which are like a sweet frying pepper, very, very popular. We harvest a lot of them, so we're gonna be planting quite a few today. We haven't had any mistakes filling up with water today. Petey shows up. First thing he does is he knocks the tube out of the tank. We got water everywhere. Oh my goodness, thankfully we have enough water. It won't be a problem today. Well, we ran out of plants for the day. That's where we're gonna be stopping with planting. We got so many rows of plants put into the soil. What a beautiful day. Here's a better look at all the peppers we got planted today. So we started over there right about the middle, and then we've planted all these sections of mulch. And as all of you have seen, a majority of this was peppers, but we also did have some herbs along here. We had some dill, parsley, and a few other things. So it's been a pretty good day. We got a lot planted. I was happy with how much we got into the soil. But yeah, that's gonna be it. What a good day. What a good day of planting. I just got home from planting and Aunt Rhonda told me to come and look at her greenhouse. She's been moving some stuff around. Look at the emptiness. There's so much empty space. There's so much room for more hanging baskets. We just don't have them. But that's a good thing because very shortly, we're gonna have to fill this greenhouse up with mums. Believe it or not, time's flying. I just made it home from work and look who do I have with me here. Yeah, we've got Lily, say hi. And we got Ronnie. Ronnie just got a haircut. Look at our little man. You're trying to get the camera. Oh, what are you doing? Get over here. But we had a very busy day. I am tired. Mommy has got us all taken care of for the night. So you know what that means. This is where we're gonna end the video. I would like to thank everybody for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like the video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.